Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho
झीनी रे झीनी, झीनी रे झीनी, के राम नाम रस भीनी चदरिया। झीनी रे झीनी, के राम नाम रस भीनी चदरिया। झीनी रे झीनी। अष्टकमल का चरखा बनाया, पांच तत्व की पूनी चदरिया। पांच तत्व की पूनी, 9-10 मास बुनन को लागे। 9-10 मास बुनन को लागे। मूरख मैली कीनी चदरिया। झीनी रे झीनी। भक्त प्रहलाद सुधामा ने ओढ़ी चुनरिया। भक्त प्रहलाद सुधामा ने ओढ़ी, शुकदेव ने निर्मल कीनी चदरिया। शुकदेव ने निर्मल कीनी। दास कबीर ने ऐसी ओढ़ी। दास कबीर ने ऐसी ओढ़ी, ज्यों की त्यों धर दीनी चदरिया। झीनी रे झीनी, के राम नाम रस भीनी चदरिया। झीनी रे जी, झीनी रे जी, झीनी रे झीनी।
Well, last day of the Fool's month. Well, we thought we were very smart, but this invisible virus is making us all look like bloody idiots, huh? So a little poem for you. The Fool. A fool is a fool, being too full and unable to receive or perceive, and hence a fool. A fool is a fool, being too full and unable to receive or perceive, and hence a fool. To be a fool is not cool, but everybody is somebody's fool. Well, everybody has to live. There is a whole month for the fools. It's getting over. We better get smart now. Well, compared to most other nations going through the works, India is doing well, very well, I would say. Considering the density of population, very well, and this partial relaxation is going to be a bit of a challenge, but this Indian people will feel homesick if there is no certain amount of chaos. But they have been such a disciplined way. Fantastic, most of them. Of course, we have our share of but largely very good. When situations like this, challenging times, whether it comes in terms of natural calamities, wars, or changes sometimes in terrain and atmosphere, or like this, pandemics, when they come, that is when most human beings feel inadequate to handle simple aspects of life. This inadequacy can become not just the pain of that period, can become a lifelong pain. I see many people who've been through war, situations of war, where they every day lived under the threat of could be death any time. Things were exploding all around, people were falling dead all around, but somehow it didn't hit you. But after 20 years, their reaction to certain situations is still from that memory. They might not consciously remember, but they will respond with that kind of memory within them. That karma is so strong of fear and imminent mortality. And a sense of absolute helplessness, feeling totally inadequate in those situations, because anybody would be, nobody is on top of those situations. But the problem is it lives. Very few human beings can keep it aside. Most of them carry it for a lifetime. It need not even be as big as war. Somebody was mugged, somebody was attacked, or they went through a horrific accident but they survived. When any kind of challenging situations come in their life, they tend to respond from that experience. I'm joking, but we have lots of Lebanese friends here. In case they act little crazy, you must be nice to them because they've been through a bad war. Is that a Lebanese person laughing? Oh yeah, then it's good. Then it's good, you can laugh, others cannot laugh at it. Because war is not… See, India has seen a few wars. Well, Americans have seen many wars, but they always fight their wars elsewhere. For Indians, the war is fought at the border. It's not fought here in Coimbatore city. But I'm talking about a war which happened around the place where you live. I think among our people who are here, it is largely the Lebanese who have gone through that experience. That war happened in their towns. You're sitting here in your home, the next building collapsed right in front of you with a big explosion. This is something they have witnessed, and that experience is deep-rooted. So this virus situation, for those who are substantially exposed to this or continuously taking in news and information, you kind of live it in your mind, whichever way it happens. This should not leave a long-term damage, rather it should strengthen you. Because it is also true, many people who have been in battles and imminent death all the time hanging, in terms of situations that human beings can go through, a battle is the most extreme situation. Being in that situation, many people will come out fearful and damaged for life, but many others come out very strong, stable and balanced, wise, like sages. People who have been through wars come out like that also. So it's important, when challenging times comes, how we are. What is it that makes one person ride through difficult times effortlessly? What is it that the same situation crushes another person? I'm not talking about the physical damage. Well, if the virus hit me or you and something else happened, that's a different matter. But what happens mentally, psychologically, emotionally? One dimension of this is, I'm only addressing one dimension, because there are people, but what about this, what about that? We're not going to that today, because it's the last day of the Fool's Day, Fool's Month. We will handle only one dimension, because this is all the problem with life is essentially, people don't learn to handle one aspect of their life either properly, but they know everything little bit. They read scriptures, they read newspapers, and of course social media. They know something about everything, but they don't know how to handle one simple aspect of themselves. If they knew how to handle their body, they would manage this one way. That would be your karma yoga. If you knew how to use your body to handle challenging situations, that would be one way. If you knew how to use your intellect in a challenging situation, that would be another way. If you knew how to use your emotion, that would be another way. If you knew how to use your energies, that would be a completely different dimension. They don't learn any one way, they know little about everything. Today, especially the challenging times, I'm not saying this with any disregard, but it is both amusing and distressing to see that just about anywhere and everywhere, everybody is propagating their own meditation. Listen to the sound of water and you're meditating. Listen to the breeze and you're meditating. I'm not saying it's not good. All I'm saying is, all this is becoming meditation. Let me put this one way. This is something everybody can do, this is something everybody has the power to do, but most people don't use it, is there is something called as your thought process, which for most people always it's overactive or out of control. This is a dimension of activity within you which can give you understanding. Understanding is not an ultimate force, because understanding happens out of limited amount of data we have. This is why our understanding of the virus is changing every day, because little more data comes, every day our understanding changes. Well, this has been the way of the entire scientific process. As more data comes, our understanding changes, as more data comes, our understanding changes. It's happening over 100 years. So understanding is not an ultimate process, but understanding, if you understand something, even in its limited possibility, even if your understanding is limited, in a way you cracked something. You cracked one aspect of it. You understood what it takes to make this tree grow well. This does not mean you figured out everything about this planet. It is just that you understood how to make this tree grow well, so you are a very successful coconut farmer and your life becomes comfortable because you understood what it takes to make a coconut tree grow at its best. Maybe many of you have no clue, you're walking under the coconut trees all the time, but probably you never looked up, nor did you sit under the coconut tree and meditate. You must try. There is many possibilities of enlightenment. Yes because each tree has minimum 60 to 70 nuts, so nut and nut, there could be a fusion. But those who are into that, maybe that they also, many of them do not know. For example, everybody thinks Kerala means coconut because they've seen the tourist brochures, coconut trees. But yes, trees are there, they grow in the sand, on the beaches, and people have made plantations of that also, but on an average, today these averages might have changed a little bit, I'm talking from another time. On an average, one tree in Kerala gives about 60 to 70 nuts per year. One tree in Tamil Nadu gives anywhere between 80 to 100 nuts. That average in Tamil Nadu, I know, has gone up now. One tree in Karnataka gives anywhere between 180 to 200 to 225 nuts, depending upon the farmer. One tree in Bengal gives up to 225 to 250 nuts. They are not different species, it is just a different understanding. So I am saying similarly, if you are if you are a coconut tree, how much yield this will generate depends on a little bit of understanding how this functions. If you don't understand this, if you don't crack that within you, this is what makes it work, then this is a low-yielding tree. So when challenging times come, this will feel terribly inadequate. When everything is comfortable, you can strut around like, you know, king of the jungle kind of strut. But when challenging times come, things fall down into places. This always happens, that in many countries, right through history, this happens. When really challenging situations come, leadership changes just like that, without even a word being said, simply because those who are there as leaders, because of social selection, will sink, those who are competent will rise. When things are comfortable, people or the society will not allow such a thing happen, because by sheer entitlement, many people become leaders. But when challenging times come, competence is the only thing which will rise people. Those who are there by entitlement will naturally sink. So what is it that you can do within yourself? One important thing is, whenever you can't figure out something for what it is, right now we don't know exactly what this virus is, bits and pieces of information coming. We thought initially we will only cough, dry cough only. If you have little phlegm, that's not it. Then they said, no, you may sneeze, that means something will come out. Then they said, you may not cough, sneeze, nothing, but you may still have it. Now they're saying, your liver could be going bad, your heart could be going bad, your brain could be going bad, that is if it's still intact. Now they said, only infants below 1 year of age and the older generation of people will be affected, youth need not bother. Then they said, no, youth will also have to bother, it'll get you if you have this and this. That this and this covers almost the entire thing of life. Then they said, no, children no problem, children have immunity. But now they are saying children are developing a completely different kind of symptoms other than what the adults develop. It is still not absolutely confirmed, but many scientists around the world are beginning to say the Kawasaki syndrome, which gives a certain kind of digestive and stomach-related troubles, and it could be serious and there could be inflammation around the heart. This is happening to lots of children and they suspect it is only because of this virus that it's happening. So like this, our understanding goes piece by piece. So essentially, we're in a situation where we don't have the whole picture. So definitely this is a time you can panic or get depressed or get defeated or be terrified or petrified or in some way crumble within yourself. This is a time when you need to spark with maximum energy. You cannot have more understanding because that's all the information that there is. Unless you're a scientist and you're deeply investigating that process, only what comes out in the news channel, social media or a newspaper, that's all the information you have. And you know, on the social media there are a whole lot of clowns who stretch the month of April for all the 12 months, who are always having some pleasure in giving all the wrong information. They take great pleasure in misleading people. There are people. So, definitely, not just you and me, even those who are on the job studying, they also don't have a full picture. Now they said this is one virus, now they're saying the 10 varieties. Now you're fighting a Ravana. So, when there is no understanding and then there is no room for understanding better than somebody else, well, with the same data, some people may have a little better understanding than the others, but still there is no room to extend your understanding beyond that because data is limited. One thing that needs to happen within you is, you must be bursting with energy. If you're bursting with effervescent levels of energy within you, then even if you have no intellectual understanding, your system and even yourself, even in your conscious action, you will do all the right things without even knowing why you're doing it. Because as your brain or your intellect is intelligent, so is body intelligent. Every cell in the body is intelligent. So is your energy, so is your emotion. They have their own levels of intelligence. And energy is the fundamental intelligence. It is making everything happen. If you keep it at a certain level of buoyancy and effervescence, then the chances of you doing wrong things doesn't arise. When I say wrong things, it does not about the virus, this is about you. I'm sure you are not interested in the virus or you are not a student of virology that you want to know about every virus in the universe. You are only interested because it could affect you. So your interest is this. Because your interest is this, the fundamental aspect of your life being the life energies, if you fire it up in a big way, then you will see the system will function in a certain way without even thinking about it. You will do the right things with your system. When you do the right things with your system, you will do the right things in the surrounding atmosphere also. But if you're only going by data at a time like this, because anyway we have limited data, this happened. At one time, Shankaran Pillai was a single parent. He had a small baby and wife. And he got very worried because the child was losing weight. Then he took the child to the doctor and he told the doctor, "Doctor, my child is losing weight drastically, by day, child is losing weight. I'm giving enough sunlight, air, water." The doctor asked, "But what kind of food do you give him?" "Oh my God, I knew I missed something." We're missing a lot of things right now because we don't have enough information. So one best thing we can do is to keep the energies effervescent. Well, for those of you who invested certain amount of time in your sadhana, this will come easy, but for those of you who have not, really want to become better when there are dire situations in front of you, for you also there is a way. I think Simha Kriya is out there in the form of an app, is it? Where is it?
It's on the videos, Sadhguru.
It's on the?
On the YouTube video.
Okay, it's on the it's on the YouTube, it's called Simha Kriya. I'm saying those of you who don't have any other practice to do, that is any yogic practice which concerns your energies, at least 3 to 5 times in a day you do this, you will see your life energies will be effervescent. When your intellect cannot function, because your intellect cannot function without necessary information, and right now there is no necessary information. When there's no necessary information, intellect feels helpless. When it feels helpless, it will trigger emotions of depression, helplessness, frantic reactions to things. If you want to stop this, the most important thing is you keep your energies in an effervescent way. One can use… this may be hard to teach you just like this in a few minutes, but right now, this you can do not at this time alone, at some time later, you can use this in your life. See, the sound, right now the sound, my voice is the sound, music is the sound, the birds are making sounds. When an intellectual process which cracks something very small, let's say you understood why the mango is falling down, you know, it was a big discovery, all right? But after many hundreds of years after Isaac Newton saw it, you saw it today and you understood why the mango is falling down. Though it's such a divine fruit, it's not going heavenward, it is falling down. If you understood that, at that time, if you have a key sound that you can use, if the sound and a certain dimension of intellectual process come together, there will be a burst of energy, always. This is why in this culture, we developed this process. If you sit down, you say Shiva, if you stand up, you say Shiva, you see something good, you say Shiva, you something bad, you say Shiva. The idea is, when a certain process happens with you, intellectually and emotionally, if you add the right sound to it, there will be a burst of energy in the system. So a series of bangs like this, you become a very creative process, you know creation happened like that, big bangs. So if you keep on creating bang, bang, bang within you, your ability to create, you being a creative human being, in whatever little things that you do, will become a living reality for you. So, it's best if one is initiated into a powerful sound that you simply utter that sound need not be for public, you don't have to say it loudly, this is not a campaign. This is not some kind of a religious campaign or something that you have to say it to everybody. Like there are some people, if you pick up the phone, they will say, they will say Hari Om, or they will say Om Namah Shivaya, or somebody will say Allahu Akbar, or somebody will say Jai Shri Ram. This is propagation, that's their choice. I'm not talking about you propagating anything, I'm talking about using a powerful sound to fuse with a certain intellectual process or a certain emotional process or even a physical process, something like sitting down, standing up. There's a whole change in the system. You sit down, how the system is functioning, not just physiologically, on the level of chemistry, on the level of energy, how it's functioning, and if you stand up, how it'll function is completely different. So when such a shift is happening, you say one consecrated, powerful word within yourself, there'll be a burst of energy. This series of bursts, if you're creating throughout the day, your ability to create will become big and you don't have to stretch April for the 12 months.
This question is from Vasini. If one has a deep yearning for nothingness and one is doing all the sadhanas and becoming emptier each day, but the experience still has not happened, what is one to do, Sadhguru?
Emptiness does not come in installments. Because emptiness means that which is not. Why emptiness is? Because fullness, there is no such thing, it's just a word. If you really look at it, let us say, I will put $1 billion into your pocket. No, I have no such plans, I am raising funds right now, okay? Suppose, just to titillate you, I will put $1 billion into your pocket. It feels very full for one day, but then you see her walking with $10 billion, you have? Then suddenly your pocket feels empty with $1 billion. Then let's say we'll put another 9 for you, you have $10 billion. Then he is walking with $100 billion, suddenly it again feels empty. So your pocket can never be full, no matter how much we put. We'll take your head. When you passed your first standard, you felt like, what's there more to know in this world? You know? Then they told you there's a goddamn second standard. And you went through this, then they told you 10th standard is public exam, that's it. If you do that, this is your parents went on telling you, this is the key aspect of your life, 10th standard is very crucial, you believed. And you finished your 10th standard and you're feeling chest puffed up and you thought you really know it. Then the next day they started bothering you, which college will you join, which college will you join? What college? I thought number 10 I reached. Perfect number champion number, but no good. Like this at every point. So, how much ever we put into your head will never become full. Well, initially you just fell in love with only one person. Then when you fall in love with one person, she produces 1 or 2 or 3. Then you fell in love with all of them. But then they produce grandchildren like this. That also you loved, actually more than this one. So your heart also cannot become full. You go in a constipated installments, that's different. If you fall in love with everything in the universe, still it is not full, still it is capable of taking more. So your pocket cannot become full, your head cannot become full, your heart cannot become full. So fullness is an illusion that you chase. There is no such thing. But emptiness is possible. What is empty is never partially empty. Fullness is always partial. Emptiness is always total. When something is empty, it is absolutely empty. So you don't do that in installments. If you try to do it in installments, then you you will never catch emptiness, because you cannot catch emptiness. This happened one day. A lady was having a neighboring woman, another lady from the neighborhood who is also about her same age. Both of them have children. So of course she wanted to, boast a little bit. She said, "We bought a few liters of olive oil and we soaked our baby in this olive oil." Then the other lady asked, "Really? It must be very expensive, but his skin quality must have really changed." Then the man in the house came out and said, "I don't know about that, we've not been able to catch him till now." So don't try to catch emptiness. You can't catch emptiness, it's not anywhere. But it's total. So what do? How do I empty myself? You understand this, if I take a bucket, I can empty it by throwing a mug after mug out. If I take a well, I can take buckets and buckets and buckets and empty it. Well, that is not the way it happens. You become empty not because you have nothing. You become empty because you're dispossessed. You're not possessed by the things that you carry. Right now you're possessed. Your money, your home, your relationships, your God, your religion, your philosophies, your love affairs, anything and everything possesses you. When you're dispossessed, you are empty. So this is the purpose of sitting with eyes closed, not praying to somebody, not calling out some god, not something, just cut off, lock down. This is, all over the world, the governments are now initiating you into a spiritual process so that you're not possessed by what is around you, you're simply all by yourself. But of course, many of you are behaving as if you're possessed. When you're dispossessed, you're empty. Otherwise, you'll go on and on and on. I'm saying you're looking in the wrong direction. You're looking at a few tidbits that you have gathered in your life. Yes, that's all you gathered. And thinking, if I leave one, I will become empty, okay, I lift one more, I'll become empty. People go to Kashi. It's a tradition. That, in ancient times they said, when you go to Kashi, you must become dispossessed. There's nothing more. Every day you see hundreds of bodies burning there, you sit there for a few days or few months. When you come back, you're dispossessed. You are not entangled with anything. Then people made it little more, you must leave some money and come, you must leave something else and come. These days they leave only pavakai and come, the bitter gourd. Anyway, they were not eating it. So that one they will leave it and come, you must leave something and come. So I left bitter gourd because I don't like it anyway. That is not the way to leave it, because you are aiming at the wrong target. Even if you shoot it, not going to go away. This happened. One day, Shankaran Pillai was newly married. So he made it a point when he's coming back from his office, he always stopped in a restaurant and made sure he ate reasonably well and then came home. Because home was an experiment still. So he came home and his wife was… as soon as he came home, she opened the door, she hugged him and cried bitterly. He asked, "What happened?" She said, "Just for you, I went through so much… from morning I've been online, taking instructions from a cooking, instructor, and I made chicken biryani for you. I think it turned out well, but the dog, our dog, ate it up. I just went for a shower, by the time I came out, our dog ate it up." Sankaran Pilla says, "It's okay, don't cry, I will buy a new dog." So, what's her name?
Vasini.
Huh?
Vasini.
Vasini, if you want to become empty, what is needed is to get dispossessed. There are methods for that, how to do it. Don't try to empty one thing after another, it'll take even if you go for 1,000,000 years, you will always be finding something new because how you gather it, you never know. You can get rid of this, you can get rid of that, but you keep on gathering other kind of things. So don't go that way, there are proper methods. You should get initiated into something which will work. Anyway, today, as a part of the work that's happening in the villages, our volunteers are doing a fantastic job, and I see that the local officials, the police and the village, the farmers, everybody in huge appreciation of the Isha volunteers with the discipline and the commitment and the focus and the competence with which they are doing what they're doing is being hugely appreciated. Most important thing is, over 260 farmers have joined the movement now, and they are also working along with us, providing free vegetables, free inputs and everything. But at the same time, after this has become a success, now many people, migrant workers who are stuck in various other areas, they are all coming here now because the food is good and they're being taken care of well, and there is also emergency beds are there in case of any infections and things like that, so a lot of them are moving in. I think right now we are from today or from tomorrow onwards, we are servicing over 12,000 people daily with food. So as usual, I'm asking for more money, and anyway, the painting was put up for an auction. I think all of you should be aware of it. What is the last number?
2.75 crore.
Okay. So, very generous of them. They are not paying for the artwork, they are paying for the beat the virus service that our volunteers are doing. Not for one moment am I assuming they're paying for the artwork. And I truly appreciate your generosity. It's right now at 275, still there is a few hours, about 4 hours I think left, 4+ hours.
5 hours.
Okay, about 5 hours left, that is till midnight, there is time. For whatever price it goes to, you will be supporting our volunteers to serve better and more people. Unfortunately, the red zones, the lockdown most probably gets extended beyond May 3rd, at least till 15th probably, or maybe end of the month. And Coimbatore district is right now a red zone. So, we may have to carry this on for next 2 to 3 months probably, this food distribution. Even if the lockdown goes away before they find employment and be able to stand on their own feet, it may take anywhere between 60 to 90 days. So, we need your support, thank you very much. And whoever is bid for 275, I thank you very much, and all the others who brought this to this place, and those of you who will take it much beyond this in the next 5 hours. Thank you very much.